Hello, welcome. I'm Malia if we haven't met yet. I am currently back in Ubud, Bali, and I wanted to share with you some thoughts I had yesterday but have been ongoing for me around contact dancing at jams and how we manage our energy when being in touch with and interactions with a lot of different people. I was back at a jam last night, my second jam back in Ubud, and there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people. I'm speaking to this as somebody who identifies as an introvert, who identifies as a sensitive person, who identifies as a meditator and can kind of feel, sense things, and as someone who also really loves dancing and dancing contact. So that is where I'm coming from. And a lot of other people come and they tell me, I tried contact, but it was just too much. It was too much touch. It was too much with other people. Like there was too much energy happening. And I, a lot of times, used to feel all of this, and I don't anymore. And I think part of that comes from having my own strong center, which is what we cultivate in contact, is moving from our core and our center, and how I prepare myself for dancing. You have to utilize your own energetic practices going into group spaces. Otherwise, it's really easy to feel pulled or distracted into dynamics that perhaps are not what you want to be in or for your highest alignment. How do we do that? So, contact jams can be a soup of many things. First and foremost, it's a place to come and practice and play the dance of contact. But, there's always like attraction dynamics, even with men, like um, hunter chase dynamics or power dynamics or trying to show off and be cool and what acrobatics can I do that other people can't do. And it's up to you to start to cultivate your intentions going into jams. How do you want to be showing up? Sometimes if I feel I'm going into a space I haven't been in a long time or a new space, I do set an intention. And I prepare myself for practice for jam by doing something before. I don't go straight from all of my errands, etc., into the jam and expect it to be amazing. Sometimes that might mean, like, I went for a rice field walk the other day. It might mean having a short meditation or a short qigong before the jam I was in. They do like tea, which you can kind of sit and meditate during the tea, which is what can you do to be in your center going in. And two, choosing your dances. So I sometimes set an intention. I close my eyes, I'm sitting somewhere in the room, perhaps like having my water before I dance, and like, let me just have like clear, fun, easy dances today. Let me be attracted to and others be attracted to me where we're going to be in dances that are for our highest and most best fun and alignment. Something like this. So it sounds very witchy, but doing that works. You can make your own version of that. But when I do that and then I consciously decide who I'm dancing with, things change. And sometimes I sense like I start to move towards someone and it's just like the interaction is not there. We would just be dancing for the sake of moving around, or there's a lot of flaily limbs, they don't know what they're doing, or you can tell that they're doing something unsafe. So that's where I think sitting out and observing and just being an observer in the corner, do that, and other dancers do that as well, is really useful because you can spot, that person dances that way. And it is a bit of judgment, but it's a bit of judgment so you can choose whether or not to dance with that person. Another thing is just dancing with people that you know already. I went in and I had 3 great dances with people that almost had forgotten that they were in the community and I hadn't seen them in a long time, and they were all really wonderful dances. We're not supposed to do that as a contact dancer, but I think that can be very useful. And at some point in time, I did not know these people. Like, I had to go to have a first dance with them before I now know them, right? I did not know these people before. I had to go out and have a first dance with them months ago or years ago in order to know them now. One side of like, you do need to dance with new people. Otherwise, how are you going to know them and meet them? And two, dancing with people that you know already, if you're already in that community, can be a safe, fun choice. It's like having your anchors. of people in your life. You know, I danced with a girl that I know dancing a lot more who was in Copenhagen in the last season. She's a wonderful dancer. I danced with a guy that was a student of mine. He's very silly and playful and kind of a weirdo, and I've always appreciated that energy with him. And I danced with an older man. I think he's maybe American or something like that, who's a very like present dancer. And I was at the end of the jam, and I'm just like, I'm tired. I know that this dancer is capable of listening. Like, we don't have to have a fast acrobatic dance. And none of these dances were sexual vibes. None of them were like power dynamics. Like, these things do exist because we're human, and it exists in jams. And if you want to go into that, it can be very playful. If you want to have a very present dance or a very playful dance or just like a straight up contact acrobatic dance, you choose what dances you go into. Like extra hippie, like wash, like have a shower right away or wash your face and your hands. Like, that's basic like water hygiene. I have even sometimes at some jams like carried around Palo Santo to burn, or gone off and done like a bit of qigong for 5 minutes and like come back into the space. Like, it can be ungrounding if you don't have your center about you. And it's not something that I speak to much in classes or jams, but if I speak to other experienced dancers, they have some other version of this. And this just helps you with your capacity going into spaces where there's a lot of people and enjoying yourself and not coming out of it and being like, man, I feel so drained or burnt out, or like, now I have to recover for like 3 days because I over danced, I overexerted my energy, you know, and people get in injuries because of that, because they're not one watching those people beforehand to be like, is this a safe, does this person safely know how to do lifts, you know? You know, they're not watching their own energy. Like, am I getting sloppy because I'm tired and I can't actually dance the way that I think I can dance next? Those are just some of the basics. So yeah, I'm curious what your thoughts are. You're welcome to comment below if you're an experienced dancer and you have some background in energy, in contact jams, and managing your own energy, and choosing to dance with someone, or just going in and letting things happen. Both of those have a magic to them in a different way. So those are my thoughts for today.